So, I know you guys probably have tons of questions, and if you got anything, please feel free to leave a comment in the video. I'll get back to you ASAP. Now, last video we talked about making scales, whole steps and half steps. We went over the sequence of whole steps and half steps on how to make a scale. Now, this video, what I want to do, because there's a pretty scary implication from that, is that if you recall what I said is that sequence 221 2221, you can apply that arbitrarily to any note, and then whatever note you begin with, whatever it yields will be the notes that comprise that respective major scale. What's implied from that is that, to your ear, since there are 12 notes that exist from A all the way to G sharp, that means that there are 12 major scales. Because you can begin at any note, right? There are 12 major scales. To your ear, there's actually, academically, there's actually more. Because, C sharp major and D flat major are two scales. They're the same pitches. Anyways, the point is that that's a lot of information. That's a lot of information, right? And yes, to be a musician, yes, you have to know these scales. You have to know them by heart. You have to know what's in the scales, and that's overwhelming. Just saying it out loud is overwhelming. But take heart. There is a wonderful way to organize these major scales, and the tool that organizes this is called, I should have written the name, but you see that? It's a circle. It's called the circle of fifths. The circle of fifths. You can call them the circle of fourths if you want, which you'll understand why. But this is a tool for a number of reasons that I can't really go over all of it in one video. But this is what I want you to do. You can draw it yourself. That's great. But this, I want you to envision it as a clock, okay? It's a clock. A clock has 12 hours in it, right? And there are 12 notes that exist. So we're going to organize all the scales like a clock, every hour representing another note or another key, which is that's what a key is. But we'll get to that too. So, what did I say in the last video? What is the heart of the tonal universe? That's right, it's C. So C is the heart of the universe. Oh my gosh, I wrote it from my point of view. It's an ugly C. So we're going to put a C at the very top at 12 o'clock, okay? At 12 o'clock. Now, instead of walking you through this whole process, I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to work it out yourself, okay? What I'm about to explain. Ooh, yeah, here we go. Last video, we applied the 221, 2221, beginning with C. And what yielded from that, if you'll remember, is C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. You notice anything? C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. There's not a single sharp, there's not a single flat in that scale. It's a naked scale. Only whole notes. There's no sharps in it, in any of the notes. C is the only major scale where that happens. C is the only major scale where that happens, where the notes are perfect. They're all natural. There are no sharps and flats. That's why we put that at the top. It's the absolute ground zero. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now, from C, we're going to move over 1 hour. Okay, we're going to move over 1 hour. What note goes here? What's the next major scale or how do we determine what the next one is? Well, it's called the circle of fifths, right? Why do we call it fifths? Fifth of what? Five of what? A major scale from start to finish. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. It's got 8 notes. Well, 7 notes, really, since the 8th note and the 1 note are both the same. So let's just pretend that it's 7 notes. What I want you to do, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Write out the scale like what we just did with C, and then zero in on what the fifth note is. Zero in on the fifth note. C, D, E, F, G, 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 G for gorilla. G. What we're gonna do, the next hour is going to be the fifth note from whatever key is previous to it. So here, now you can say it fully understanding what it means. What I'm about to say. The fifth of C is G. The fifth of C is G. We wrote out the scale C, D, E, F, G. The first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh of the scale. What's the first? What's the first of C? Well, the first in C is C. What's the second in C? D. What's the third is E. What's the fourth? F. What's the fifth? G. And yes, you're gonna have to be that familiar with every scale. What's the fifth of E? What's the fourth of C sharp? Yeah, it'll get to a point. But let's start it easy. In the key of C, what's the fifth? In the key of C, what's the fifth? It's G. So, on the first hour, we're gonna put G. That is a fucking ugly G. Now, this is where it gets really tough. Go back to the code. 221 2221. 221 2221. At first we began with C. Now we're going to start with G. If you start with G, and you do 221 221, what are the notes that come out of that? It's not going to be the same as the notes that came out of C. Remember, C is a naked scale. C is the only scale that's naked. G will not be naked. But how crazy is this? Does it have like 5 sharps in it? Does it have how many? So this is the only other scale that I'm going to walk you through. And then I'm going to end the video. And then by next video, I'm gonna fill in the rest of the circle of fifths, which I hope you can do on your own. Which is going to take you days. It's going to take you a long time. It's going to take you a long time. But it's going to be very rewarding when it comes out. Now, No, this is fine. Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse my language. So, here we have... Oh, crap. It's backwards. Oh, crap. It's backwards. Oh, gosh. This video is too long. Gotta manage better. Okay. Oh, sorry, guys. Fast forward. Oh, God. Okay, remember, so here's the whole alphabet again, right? We have A all the way to G sharp. So, and we did... So here's the code again. 221, 2221. We started with C last time. We got C, D, E, F, G, A, you know, all the perfect scale. But now we're going to start with G. All the way over here. All the way the fuck over here. So from G, a whole step up from G, well, there's a half step is G sharp, and then another half step would be A. So remember, a whole step is 2 half steps. So half step, G, A, B, another whole step, and now half step is C. Another whole step, D. Wow, it's looking really naked so far. Another whole step, E. Now the last whole step from E. What's a whole step up from E? What's a whole step up from? That's right, F sharp. And then what's a half step up from F sharp? G. You know you did the scale correctly when the final half step, the final movement, lands you in the same spot where you began. Every scale ends with the same note that it began from. So, G. G, a whole step up from G is A. A whole step up from A is B. Whole step, 2 whole steps, then a half step. Half step up from B, C. Looking pretty good so far. Naked, no sharps or flats. Now, 3 more whole steps. From C, whole step, D. That's 1. Another whole step up from D, E. The last whole step up from E, F sharp, half step, G. So there's one sharp in it. There's a F sharp. The key of G has F sharp in it. Now, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Those are the notes that make up G. Now, returning to the circle of fifths. Do you remember what we did? We wrote out C. The fifth of C was G. We put a G there. What's the fifth of G? I just recited it. Did you hear it? G, A, B, C, D. G, A, B, C, D. G, A, B, C, D. D, D, D. D is the fifth. D is the fifth. Well, that's really crappy because the next one will be like right here. So from C, up a fifth from C is G. From G, up a fifth from G is D. Now, apply the same thing again. 2-2-1, 2-2-2-1 starting from D. Write out those notes, 1 through 7. That's the D major scale. Find the fifth. Take the fifth and then write that under D. And then whatever that note is, do it again. 2-2-1 from that one. Fifth. Like the next one. And then do it again. And do it again. Do it again. Now, well, what I want you to do, actually, you can fill out the whole clock, but you're going to need some more help. Actually, try to get to the 5th hour. Just the 5th hour. Don't go, well, you could try the 6th. But at the 6th, for sure, at the 6th, stop. Don't do any more. Just go from 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock. 5 o'clock is what I'm asking of you. But if you want to go all the way to 6, that's fine. But at that point, stop, okay? And if you can do that, I'm very proud of you because it's not easy. Happy practicing.